The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver still gets a point there. Yeah. And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense in my fantasy game.
Going for it with Sanders. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. They go play action. Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play.
Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins on the connection to Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him, as this game moves on.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on fourth down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Cousins. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So they took their shot. It was a pretty good heave, but in the end, the free safety is the one who comes away with the football.
And 2 of the traits that you look for in a good free safety, range and decision-making. Both on display right there. And it didn't hurt that he's got a good pair of hands, too.
Setting up the screen for Cook. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Ooh, with a juke. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 45-yard line. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now Cousins. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles will take over here at their own 14-yard line. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 16. A give running left. It's Sanders. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And this returnable for Rager. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them,
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Hassan Reddick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This game has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
First down, here's Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Fourth down, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception returned for a touchdown. And this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains. That was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
That's a gain of 7. Third and
10th carry of the game for Cook. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 40 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps at just about every play. And you know they'll...
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Now, I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They run behind center with Gainwell.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Hurts to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing is Hurts.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Go ahead.
On 2nd and a yard, Cousins. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Now Cousins. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker.
20, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick-6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick-6?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So they get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Throwing is Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Touchdown!
Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. Now, some may have run out the clock in that scenario, but they wanted to put their foot on the gas, get one more touchdown, and they did just that.
Well, partner, I would say the traditionalists not overly excited about that score. They'd like to see the game played a little bit differently. But what you can't argue with is their execution of that play, because it played out exactly as it was drawn up. It almost would have been a shame not to finish with such a well-run play.
Nuwanger now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game.
He's got a man complete. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Play action now. Cousins. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
One last shot now for Cousins. He's going to let it go again. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot
there. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.